welcome, or welcome back as the case may be. I'm Christine E. Schulze, aka the Elvish author, and once again we have Isaac, very good. And it's time for our weekly book haul. We're just going to call this the weekly book haul.
That's what it is.
Because we really like being able to, once a week, just collect some new titles and take a look at them, take a look at the covers, take a look at the blurbs, what they're about, and decide if we'd be interested in reading them, and hopefully help you guys discover something new to read as well. So we're really just going to get right into it. Isaac was just telling me that he picked up a couple titles in honor of it being Native American Heritage Month, which is the month of November. So are these titles, from Native American authors?
Native American authors and dealing with Native American characters.
Okay, great. So that is awesome. All right, so let's just get to it. Let's see what he's picked up. As usual, I have not seen any of these books yet. He just goes to his library and surprises us with nice things. So
Very nice things.
let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do
Book
it.
number 1 is Walking in Two Worlds. I think that's what it says. Okay, the title's a little bit covered, and let me see what the author's name is. It's also covered with this being a library book. Sometimes they do that. By Wad Canoe. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, so do pardon or feel free to correct me if not. But yes, and this one has an interesting cover. I like, she definitely does look, well, I will have to see if it says, like, which Native American culture she is from, but you can tell with that. It looks like she has some form of face paint as well. And the title is very good. The title is very good. Walking in Two Worlds, I think, is a very good title. That could refer to her, it could refer to some kind of fantastic element, or it could refer to maybe she's biracial and, trying to figure out how to live in between those two worlds. So we're going to read the blurb and just see if that gives us a little bit more information on what kind of book this might be. And the blurb says, Bugs is caught between two worlds. In the real world, she's a shy and self-conscious indigenous teen who faces the stresses of teenage angst and life on the res. But in the virtual world, her alter ego is not just confident but dominant in a massively multiplayer video game universe. Fang is a teen boy who has been sent from China to live with his aunt on the res. Meeting each other in real life, as well as in the virtual world, Bugs and Fang immediately relate as outsiders and avid gamers. And as their connection is strengthened through their virtual adventures, they find that they have much in common in the real world too. But betrayal threatens everything Bugs has built in the virtual world and outside of it. It will take all her newfound strength to reconcile the parallel aspects of her life. The traditional and the mainstream, the East and the West, the real and the virtual. Okay, so I was kind of right with both of those things, because there is kind of a fantastic element in that she's really into this virtual world, which, it's not really saying that virtual world is going to be a real, like, something that they step into, but it could be. But there's this aspect of the virtual world, which is like a fantasy world for her that she feels more comfortable in, and the real world, and then kind of also, not that she's not biracial, but just kind of trying to navigate being an indigenous woman in, living on this reservation and just trying to fit into the world, the real world, as well. I like that we have this boy from China who, maybe will also have his culture incorporated and struggles that he goes through as well. So yeah, I like that.
So do I.
Yeah, it's very, very intriguing. Again, I do like that she has this fantasy world that she kind of escape to because she doesn't feel comfortable in the real world, and just learning what she is going to go through.
I'm interested about this betrayal.
I was about to say.
Everything.
Yeah, there's a betrayal that happens that threatens her virtual world, which is where she's comfortable. And yeah, just having to learn to navigate all of that and, be safe and comfortable in both worlds. I think this is a thumbs up as far as intrigue goes. So we're interested. We like the sound of this one. We're in. Let's see what the second selection is, if you please.
Number 2.
Number 2 is called Strangers by David A. Robertson. And, well, this is a fine cover because we've got two characters. Maybe it's the same character. There's like a head here. There's a bottom of a head up here. We've got all this flame, which I don't know if they're shooting flame. I don't know if they turn into a dragon or another creature. I don't know if their head's like made out of fire. Like, I don't know. But I do like this cover. And even the colors on it are quite nice. It says, Oh, we got some nice reviews on the back here. One of them says that Strangers might be the best and most unique YA Indigenous supernatural mystery I've read. And Coyote is a character for the ages. You will fall in love with him at first sight. So this is also, I didn't know that this was also going to be in the list of Indigenous people's books that we have for this week. Yeah, but I like that it's has Indigenous, characters, and it's young adult and supernatural mystery. Already very, very good. You guys know that I love seeing diverse characters in YA, so good job. He does a very good job with bringing us these books for sure. And let's just see. It's not a long blurb, but let's see if it's not enough to draw us in, shall we?
I like how the pages are.
Oh yeah, this is also one of those books where the pages kind of have like that ripped or like old-timey feel to them, which can kind of set the scene for some things. So, Strangers, the blurb says, when Cole Harper is compelled to return to Wounded Sky First Nation, he finds his community in chaos. A series of shocking murders, a mysterious illness ravaging the residents, and re-emerging questions about Cole's role in the tragedy that drove him away 10 years ago. With the aid of an unhelpful spirit, a disfigured ghost, and his two oldest friends, Cole tries to figure out his purpose and unravel the mysteries he left behind a decade ago. Will he find the answers in time to save his community? Strangers is the first novel in the Reckoner series. It's a series. So if you like series, this might be the one for you. If you're looking for a series about, Indigenous, an Indigenous character, and you like young adult sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural type of elements, and you like series, this might be a good book for you. It sounds like he's going to have some interesting companions.
Yep, the disfigured ghost.
Disfigured ghost and helpful spirits, and two friends. That's always good to have along. Maybe he'll become friends with the spirits too. Who knows? It says his name is Cole, which is interesting because on the back, the review is referring to, I would assume, him as Coyote, but it sounds like he has been away from his tribe for 10 years, so maybe his name or nickname within the tribe was Coyote, but maybe he took on more of an English name. So
that's what I was
a lot of questions. Yeah,
a
lot of questions to answer. But yeah, I like it. I just really want to know what's going on the cover, honestly. I guess a thumbs up just because I want to know what's going on the cover, guys. I really do. So, very good.
Very good.
Number 3, if you will.
Number 3
is called We Are Blood and Thunder. Well, if that's not a fascinating title, I don't know what is. And it's by Kessia Lupo. Again, my apologies if your name is not Kessia, if it's Keziah or Kezia or Keisha. That could be read so many different ways.
So many ways.
Yeah, anyway. Let's see here. Ooh, this is one of those ones that has like a little scene on the back, and then you have like the blurb inside. The colors on this are very good. Red is always a striking color for anything to draw in the eye. I like the red with the blue. Simple colors, but very bold, very striking. You've got a castle with the lightning going on, and the lightning and the colors just really reflect the blood and thunder very well.
Yeah.
So, the little scene on the back says, the masked mage regarded Lena coolly, offering no sympathy, no apology, but she lowered her cane, and somehow Lena felt she understood. After a few moments, Lena found the courage to speak again. Please, I don't know the way out of the forest. Can you help me? The young woman nodded slowly. I will. But you must do something for me, too.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Let's read the blurb, shall we? In a world plagued by a devastating storm, two girls' magical fates become dangerously entwined. Well, that's already good, because there's a devastating storm raging over this world the whole time. That's interesting. We want to know what's going on with that. So, it's like we already had a half a thumb. Anyway, Lena has never left the sealed-off city she calls home. But then her deepest secret is revealed. She is a mage, a crime punishable by death. So, Lena runs for her life, straight into the surrounding forest, which is shrouded in a perilous storm cloud. Constance's family and friends think she is dead. When she fled the city, no one expected she would survive outside its walls. But Constance not only survived, she's intent on returning to claim her place as the Duke's daughter and heir. Lena and Constance collide in the forest for only a moment, but even after their paths diverge, they are connected by a dark, terrifying cloud that destroys everything in its wake. Only Lena and Constance can dispel the storm and restore order to their world, if they can uncover who created the storm. But the truth is far more sinister than anyone could imagine, and unveiling it could cost them everything. Well, sir?
I like this storm.
I like the storm too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a unique concept of just having this storm constantly raging over this area. Like what? What's that about?
What's going
Where'd
on?
it come from? What is the origin of this storm?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think, Zelda reference, actually. It makes me think in Breath of the Wild. There's like that area with like the big mushrooms, and when you go there, there's like always like it's always storming. There's always thunder and lightning in that area. If you haven't guessed by now, if you haven't watched enough of my videos, I'm a big Zelda fan. If you don't know I'm a Zelda fan, you just really haven't watched enough of my videos, basically. So yeah, it's a lot of intrigue here as well.
I don't know why they don't like mages.
Yeah, why is being a mage so illegal that it's punishable by death? I like that you have these two girls that, it's interesting when you have two completely opposite characters and their lives kind of converge, and it seems like they're not going to be necessarily together for that long, but that this also just kind of maybe creates some more events. Yeah, connected by the cloud, by the storm. If they can uncover who created the storm. So hopefully we will learn who created the storm and why in this book, since that is what they need to do in order to destroy it. Either that, or the book just ends in total chaos, and the storm just takes over the world.
Okay.
Which will also be, honestly, an interesting ending, we're not going to lie. So either way, I think we'd both be interested. So, thumbs up. We're getting a good set today. We usually get pretty good books, but every now and then we get one where it's just like, we're not super into it, but which is fair, because you don't have to like every book. But yeah, let's go ahead with the fourth selection, shall we? Which is called The Color of Dragons, which is a good enough title in of itself. Very simple cover. You've just got like a dragon tail on here, which I think is all that you need for a really good title like that as well. And this one, did I say who the last one was by? I don't think I did. I did say. I just wasn't sure how to pronounce the name. It's a cool name. Honestly, no matter how you pronounce it, I like the name and how it's spelled. But for this one, it is by R.A. Salvatore and Erica Lewis. We've got a co-authored book here.
Yeah, you ever heard of R.A. Salvatore?
I have. What have they written?
He writes, he specifically, I hope it's he writes specifically D&D novels.
Okay. You would know about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, like I said, the name is familiar to me, but let's see here. I dare say you've heard of Camelot. Its handsome and brave king. Its inevitable fall. This is a different tale. Ages before Arthur. Ages before Guinevere. When magic was just a spark. You did not tell me this is a Camelot book.
I didn't know.
So if you're really into Camelot stuff, which, is pretty cool,
I think so.
This could also be the book for you as well. Let's read the blurb and get some more information, shall we? It says, magic needs a spark. A beam of moonlight. A wisp of flame. And quick steps of a dance. All these will do in a pinch to awaken Maggie's nascent powers. An apprentice to a self-proclaimed sorcerer with no real magic of his own, Maggie becomes responsible for fueling their performances. But her powers are fickle, and with no one to help her learn how to control them, Maggie is resigned to staying on the sidelines and working slowly to pay back the life debt eternally held over her head. She doesn't expect to meet Griffin, the king's champion infamous for hunting down the Dragnoks that plague their kingdom, on a routine journey of performances. The connection between them feels inevitable and inescapable, but Maggie has no idea of the destiny that they both carry, or that their meeting will set off a chain of events that will alter every aspect of the life she knows, and all of history thereafter. So, I don't know about enough of Arthurian history to know if these characters are, in any way directly related, or if the author is just coming up with, their own kind of history preceding
but
King Arthur's tale for Camelot.
I think there is, a parallel, though, because
Yeah.
Merlin and, I think, Arthur were,
Yeah,
good friends.
Yeah.
And, her being a mage, and then the king's champion,
Griffin, yeah.
Griffin.
Okay.
That might be connected in some way.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think it's cool enough that it is just a book that will potentially have to do with some kind of alternate way back when Camelot type of history. I think that's very cool. Yeah, and it just sounds like a really good classic fantasy magic book. Like, so if you're just wanting like a really, I think, you know, just classic fantasy tale with those classic elements of,
Dragons.
you know, well, it said Dragnox. We don't know what those are, actually. We don't know what those are.
No idea.
I have no idea. But yeah, it's like a really classic kind of fantasy story with elements of adventure and magic and that kind of like more medieval, you know, type of feel to it. I think that this is a good book for you to check out. Where's your thumb at for this?
Up.
I think so as well. Agreed. And I assume this is last but not least.
Last but not least.
We have, ooh, this cover is fire, guys. It's called Into the Blood Red Woods. Look at this cover, guys. I know that you guys never see quite as good on video, but especially with the glare from the book cover itself. However, it is really cool. You've got this girl with this crown that's like on fire, made out of like, you know, briars or like branches, and then you've got those claws ripping across, showing through the bit of wolf inside her and the dark woods behind her. This to me immediately says something like fairy tale retelling.
Yeah.
Whether that's Little Red Riding Hood, because you've got the wolf, or is that a bear? Oh, that ear looks like a bear. It could be a bear. Look at the ear.
Oh yeah.
Huh. Maybe it won't be a retelling, or maybe it will be, or maybe it's just gonna be very fairy tale-esque and be its own thing.
Werebear.
Werebear, yeah, maybe. By Martha Brockenbrough, and I just really like the cover, guys. We don't even need to do anything else, but let's shall we? Let's see what this one is about. It says, once upon a time, there was a kingdom, and a forest that liked to eat men, and a girl who would change everything, but not alone, except there's no such thing as once upon a time. In a faraway land, populated by werebeasts and surrounded by a powerful forest, lies a kingdom about to be sent into chaos. On his deathbed, King Tyron divides his land, leaving half to each of his 2 children so that they will rule together. However, his son, Albrecht, is not satisfied with half a kingdom, and even though his sister, Ursula, is the firstborn, he decides that, as a girl and a werebear, she is unfit to rule. You called it. So he invades her land, slaughtering her people and most of the werebeasts, and claims it for himself. As Albrecht builds his iron rule and an army to defend his reign, Ursula is gathering the survivors and making plans to seize the kingdom back. Not just her half, the whole thing. Because Albrecht should never have been allowed to sit on the throne, and Ursula is going to take his crown. And if he's not careful, he might not get to keep his head, either. I really like that a lot. This is a great book for us to end on. So, again, I don't think it's a fairy tale retelling. I think it is its own thing, but it has a lot of strong fairy tale elements.
Yes,
so if you guys really are heavy into fantasy, magic, and fairy tale elements, I think this one is going to be a great book for you guys to check out. I like that there is a kingdom of, like, werebeasts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And apparently they're considered, you know, there's like this whole kingdom. I think they're considered, like, safe and good. Obviously, Albert doesn't think so. But yeah, you call it. She is a werebear. Well, we kind of both called it. We kind of called it. But she is going to be a werebear. The names are good. You know, I like that her name is Ursula. Again, this is not any kind of like Little Mermaid, you know, fairy tale retelling, but I think it's good sometimes to name your characters with names that are familiar to other readers that make you think kind of fairy tale. Yeah, I'm just really interested in seeing how all that will play out. Hopefully the werebeasts get their home back, because I think that they should. So, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
For sure.
I even guess this one too, because the cover was bomb, guys. Just the cover art is really, really good. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have like a favorite one this time that we've looked at that you'd be like the most interested in?
I think the Color of Dragons might be my favorite.
Color of Dragons? Okay, yeah. Is it just because of like R.A. Salvatore? You biased? Yep, okay, fair enough. Have you like read the Dungeons and Dragons books before?
Nope.
No? Okay, well, he might suck. You don't know. And well, we shouldn't say that on film, should we? Because I'm sure he has a lot of fans.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you might not like his writing. You don't know until you try it. But yeah, I mean, it is Arthurian,
I like
so,
Arthurian things,
you know, fair enough. That's fair enough. I think that these are a really good selection. I do really like the concept of this one. I really like this concept a lot, but I also really like the concepts and, like I said, the cover art. You're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, And there are a lot of good books that don't have great covers. So I'm not saying that, I would never read a book that doesn't have a great cover. But this just really draws you in as to what the book is about as well. So those are probably my two favorites, I think. Any closing thoughts?
No.
All right. Well, thanks so much for watching. Let us know down in the comments if you've read any of these books. Did you enjoy them or not? Again, no spoilers. If you are going to talk about spoilers, please leave a warning so that we do not see them and other people can also be warned in advance. And yeah, feel free to like, to subscribe if you love books and you want to see more book hauls and get more ideas of books that you can read. Yeah, and on that note, is that everything?
Happy reading.
Happy reading, happy watching, and we'll see you in our next video. Books, 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 books.